It's Darkside Phil's most disappointing games of 2014. Number 3, Lords of the Fallen. Well, it sure seemed that 2014 was Dark Souls fever, between the release of the official sequel to the game earlier on in the year, and then the 3 episodic DLCs over the course of the summer. Everyone was talking about Dark Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls, and eventually leading into the release of Bloodborne on the next-gen consoles next year. And so when it was announced that, there was going to be this unique, interesting Dark Souls-esque game by a semi-indie developer called Lords of the Fallen, it piqued a lot of people's interest. And then when people started watching gameplay videos and stills, they said, the graphics of this game look quite impressive, and the fact that this game was actually on the next-gen consoles, unlike Dark Souls 2, so people said, wow, maybe this will be a good way to fill in for the fact that we need a bridge between Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne next year. Yeah, and that was pretty much where all the expectations just fell flat, because when, I almost said Bloodborne, but when Lords of the Fallen was released, for PlayStation 4 at least, which is the version that I played, what a joke. This game was full of bugs, glitches, horrendous, unpolished gameplay and graphics. It really felt like I was playing an alpha version of what the game was supposed to be, between disappearing enemies, certain enemy types that just don't seem to have combat that was thought out too well, bosses that have weak points that sometimes will take damage when you hit them and other times will do absolutely nothing, and then the kicker. The fact that there's a very difficult enemy type that I ran into that completely disappeared, reappeared in front of my eyes with full health, despite the fact that I had fought him before, and continuously respawned and did not allow me to kill it. It was amateur night game development. And after playing this game for several hours, I finally put down my controller and said I would rather do anything else than suffer through this unpolished mess any further. And it's a shame, because if the game had actually been released as a complete work, a polished game, I think it might have gotten some actual recognition. Unfortunately, it took about a month for the game developers to release critical patches to fix all the problems. But guess what? Too little, too late. Lords of the Fallen will be nothing but a little footnote in the annals of gaming history, saying this was a game that could have been something good if the game developers had actually tested the game properly. Instead, they released it not completed. It could definitely be told that the game was not completed or polished, and so many people got angry at the release of the game that they just said, fuck this, and I don't think it's worth anyone's time. Incredibly disappointing. Skip it and wait for Bloodborne. Can anything top that? Well, there's still 2 more games on the countdown, so stay securely in your seats. They're coming up next.